artificial intelligence is literally taking over how we do everything in our day-to-day lives, whether it's at our job, how we manage our calendar for our families, or even setting up workout plans for us to lose weight and get that summer body. And so with AI being all over the internet, something that we're using in every aspect of our lives, it's a no-brainer that people are inevitably using it to help write their wedding day speeches or their vows. But before you turn to ChatGPT or Copilot or Google Gemini to write your wedding speech or vows, I want you to weigh some of the pros and cons of using these platforms before you implement them into helping you write your vows or speech. Before we jump in, I would like to introduce myself and explain why I'm even credible to be speaking on this topic of artificial intelligence and wedding speeches and how they interact. So my name is Dr. Amanda Allard, and I'm the owner and founder of Wedded Words Wedding Speech Consulting, where we offer online wedding speech courses to help individuals write their wedding speeches, whether you're the best man, maid of honor, father of the bride, or even write your vows. So for happy couples planning to do private vows for their wedding. And I have a doctorate in communication research, have been public speaking for over 10 plus years, and have made it my passion to help people like you write your wedding speeches and vows. And recently, what gave me the motivation to make this video and write the associated blog that goes with it is I jumped on the viral trend of making a AI-based figurine Barbie doll-like figure of myself. And it took a lot of time, and a lot of the issues that I ran into with making this AI-generated doll of myself for Wedded Words and to promote my business are very similar to what people run into when they begin writing their wedding vows or speeches through AI. So let's jump into some of those pros and cons now. First and foremost, AI is something that I think can be a very great tool for helping you write your vows or wedding day speeches. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying don't ever use it, but it is a tool, kind of like a calculator. This is what I used to tell students when I was teaching at the academic level was, before you can use a calculator to help you know what 2 plus 2 is really quickly, you have to know what 2 plus 2 is, but without the calculator. Similarly, you have to know how to write a speech before you go to a tool such as AI to help you write the speech. Otherwise, you're going to run into some of those cons that I'm about to bring up here in a minute. But once you are able to write a speech and you know how the strengths of this tool of AI, one of the biggest benefits of using it is it can help kick writer's block to the curb. And what I mean by this is a lot of people don't even know where to begin. They don't know how to start, or maybe they just need a unique idea or perspective on how to rewrite something that they've already written. This is where things like ChatGPT, Google Gemini come in clutch. And I 10 out of 10 recommend using it to just generate new ideas. I have seen this be helpful. I've seen people use it and it definitely helps them get new ideas, but I've also seen them say, hey, give me some different ideas of how to rewrite this. And it doesn't give them what they're necessarily looking for. And so then that's when you need to have those writer block skill sets in place that I talk about in my course in your arsenal that you can use later on. But not only can it help you overcome writer's block, let's say you've already have your speech written and everything looks great. The next thing that it can really help with is grammar and mechanics of your speech. So I can't tell you how many times people leave writing the wedding day speech or vows to the last minute. They might do it the week of or even the night before. And what ends up typically happening is they write it, they get emotional, they think it's great, they read through it, but they never practice it or reread through it before they present it in front of anywhere from 50 to 300 plus people. And so it's crucial that you look for grammatical errors, sentence structure errors, and you edit the document accordingly. If you are in a pinch or in a bind and it is the day of the wedding, ChatGPT is phenomenal. Google Gemini, any artificial intelligence is phenomenal at you giving the speech copying and pasting it into the platform, saying, hey, edit this for grammatical and sentence structure errors, and it immediately fixing it, which is great. So 2 pros is that helps with grammatical and mechanical errors, but it also can help you with the brainstorming process, which was what I found when I was making my AI doll through ChatGPT. It was great for coming up with this really unique idea that I would have never have thought about doing, and it helped me refine the image without me having to manually do it. However, just as there are pros, there are also some disadvantages to using ChatGPT or Google Gemini or any other artificial intelligence. One of them is the time that it takes to actually implement that information into the platform. So when I was making this AI figurine doll, it literally took me 2 days to do it because I ran out of storage. I had to wait 24 hours. I didn't have the plan with ChatGPT to, I kind of hit my limit. And 2, it took me a while to learn how to communicate with AI of what I really was looking for. And there were tons of refinements that I had to do with ChatGPT. So sometimes, in reality, it's like, if I was this graphic designer, if I knew how to do graphic designing, it kind of would have just been easier if I would have done it myself. Same with speeches. A lot of times, when you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write this best man or maid of honor speech or father of the bride speech, whatever it may be, it can take you a lot of time to communicate to AI what you're specifically looking for and refining it. And I've seen people spend up to hours doing this, when in reality, if they would have just put in the time to write the speech, edit it, and follow a tried and true method of writing and presenting, they would have gotten it done in the same amount of time, and it would have been 100% sure that it would have been exactly what they were looking for. And that kind of leads into the second con of using AI is when you start investing all that time into refining, you can sometimes lose your voice or your authentic identity throughout your writing. And what I mean by this is so many people will say, write a best man speech for a wedding coming up. This is the story I want to say, blah, blah, blah. What ends up happening is, you're going to get a speech that you can then present in front of a crowd. But ChatGPT isn't going to tell you, hey, that's a really awkward story. Don't say that in front of 300 people. Or, hey, that inside joke, maybe it should stay an inside joke. It also isn't going to always sound like you. Something that's really interesting is people are beginning to be able to decipher whether AI wrote something or whether you wrote something. And so when you begin saying or presenting a speech that you wrote through AI, it becomes pretty clear that a lot of the adjectives that are in the speech are AI generated. And then that leads to the third and final con that I wanted to point out is if you are so close to the bride and groom or are presenting your vows to your significant other and they can tell that you have used AI, it can have relational consequences. I have been married to my husband for about a year, but we've known each other for about 15. And if he would have just gone the easy route and made a set of vows, because we did private vows, and it didn't sound like him, I would have been hurt for a variety of reasons. One, we've known each other for so long, you can't take the time to write a speech. You didn't know what to say about me. And then 2, I put a lot of time and effort into my vows. Why didn't you do it for yours? It poses a lot of questions and it can have relational consequences. And so I always say that the cons outweigh the advantages of using AI when it comes to writing a speech. So before you decide to open up ChatGPT, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. The first one is, are you willing to sacrifice your voice? And are you willing to potentially lose some of those really key, memorable moments that you want included in your speech? And then 3, what is your time worth? For me, my time is worth everything. And I didn't want to waste time writing my vows, especially the week of the wedding. With so much going on, I had to make sure that I had that time set aside and that I wasn't spending it trying to get a robot to make it sound exactly the way I wanted it to sound. I used AI to help with editing, but essentially I wrote my vows. And so use AI as a tool moving forward. But if you still feel stuck and you're like, okay, if I can't use AI and I don't know how to use it as a tool, where do I get started? That's where a speech coach can come in. Now, a lot of people don't have thousands of dollars to spend on a wedding to hire a speech coach. And that's where my online wedding speech courses come into play. You can check them out in the link below, or you can go to our website, weddedwordsconsulting.com, to learn more about how you can access these online wedding speech courses or vows so that you can basically make your wedding speeches and vows super easy to construct for the big wedding day. Until next time, my name is Dr. Amanda Allard, and this has been an overview of one of the blogs for Wedded Words, and I look forward to seeing you for the next video /